Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is Boisterous coming to you with some Platinum League Pandemonium from the map Condemned Ridge. Spawning up here in the top left-hand corner, we do have marcmad, not marcmad, he's not a doctor yet. Anyway, marcmad as the red Terran, and down here in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent Fox as the blue Zerg. So we are going to have a little bit of some red versus blue on this here ridge. We already have a little bit of messaging launching off, and, you know, marcmad, I feel you. Why are there so many mirror matchups on Battle.net? Why? Blizzard, seriously, why? I don't understand. There's so many people that play all three races, and yet I still get 14 ZVZs in one day. It's bullshit. Alright? It's straight up what it is. Bullshit. So they're kind of talking about all Hellions and stuff, and, you know, now, all Hellion is actually, it's something that's fallen off. I'm not sure if this game was played pre-patch. I didn't really check the date on the email sent. However, you know, actually, wait, no, this is Condemned Ridge. That means that it patched, right? I didn't really play when Condemned Ridge was released. I just kind of got into it like 2 weeks ago again. And I have recently been kicking butt, and I'm probably going to start streaming myself playing more and more. I kind of experimented into that, but then I kind of sucked when I started, so I was like, nah, I'm not going to do this. But I'm getting better. I'm successfully progressing. I like Ultralisks. Ultralisks are actually really powerful. We have our Zerg going for the standard 14 hatch? What? This guy hatches faster than I do? This guy knows how to hatch first, ask questions later. He just went for a 14 hatch. That's it. I'm developing the 13 hatch playstyle. It's happening, everybody. 13 hatch. Actually, no, because that would involve wasting larva time. Alright, maybe 14 hatch is basically the earliest you can go. So we do have our Zerg player being expedient, very greedy. He's being greedy. I'm not sure if you can actually spawn in close positions like this. I'm pretty sure you can on this map. Actually, maybe not. Because this is kind of like almost a Metalopolis run distance. This is a very short rush distance if you actually think about it from that base to the other base. However, you know, cross map is ridiculous. This map is absolutely and insanely huge. And I'm sorry if there's a lot of background noise, but it is extremely hot today, so I'm not going to turn off my AC. I'm going to see if I can put a filter on it. I haven't really tried that because I'm not really that fancy. However, I can give it a shot, you know. I'll give it a shot. It looks like the spawning pool is coming up for our Zerg player, and marcmad's being like, of course, you're a Zerg player. Of course you went fast second base. And it looks like, is he actually going to be going for a fast third? Oh, yeah. However, marcmad is going to scout this out completely. He might even get the block off. Nah, he's just going to scout it, and there's the third base going down. And of course, Zerg's cross map on this 3 bases is literally like a standard and safe build. There's no danger there, unless your opponent's like 6 raxing you. And even then, I'm not sure if there's a whole lot of danger there. It would still be kind of easy to defend. We still have marcmad going for like the gasless expand. I'm not quite sure if I would call it an FE. I guess it is for Terran players. I mean, this was probably dropped around like 20 supply, I do believe. So I guess it is kind of a gasless FE, but it's not nearly as fast as our Zerg player, which is to be expected. I mean, our Zerg player went for the fast third too. So it would kind of be, I think Terrans in this situation really need to go and be either, they need to put on a lot of pressure, which it looks like marcmad is getting ready to do. I mean, he has the 3 racks up. He could easily add on a 4th and a 5th and then just start really dealing out damage to the Zerg player, or they need to eco on their own. Idril ranted about this on the last State of the Game, where he was talking like, you know, the current TVZ is fine. The thing that Terrans don't understand is that going that mass queen style, you know, that 6 queen style, or even that 4 queen style, limits the amount of stuff a Zerg can do to attack you. Just build a third. We can't put that much pressure on. It's actually quite difficult, especially on a map like this, where, you know, a couple bunkers can kind of cover this entire area, and a well-placed bunker like right here, and maybe a bunker right there, is going to completely save you up. Plus bunkers are actually reasonably cheap. Really, just just expand. It's completely worth it. It looks like this SCV is going to be trying to run away from the Zerglings, but a last second just dodge back into them. He was like, wait, no, kill me, please. And then he got ripped apart by the Zergling masses. He really didn't want to go back to like the sweatshop that is mining minerals. I mean, look at these SCVs. They don't get breaks. Like they have some like beer cans, maybe soda cans back there, but they don't get a drink them ever. The SCVs are actually, you know, they're pretty intense on their job. They do not joke around. It looks like Fox's third is finished, so he is going into that kind of mass drone style. And if we look at his eco actually isn't as strong as I would expect the Zerg players to be at this point. He does have his lair on the way, along with a double Evo chamber and a Baneling nest. So we are going to see some sort of a Ling Bling style. I would expect him to go Ling Bling Infester, but that's mainly because Ling Bling Mutalisk has really fallen out of style and it's fallen from grace. That was something that was used a lot earlier this year and even like late last year. It was a huge style. It was massive. However, in recent times, it's kind of fallen out because infestors are just so freaking good, and you can tech swap so easily into like Bling Infestor Ultralisk or Bling Infestor Broodlord, or you know, Roach Infestor Broodlord. It's just, there's just so many tech paths you can take that are just so good against the Terran army. Like, they're just so good. And it looks like marcmad's actually going to be going for a little bit of pressure here. He has his reactor on the factory. He's getting plenty of Hellions out. He has his like 19 Marauder force out. And we do have a Spire on the way, so it is probably going to be Bling Bling Muta. However, this attack is going to hit before that Spire finishes, actually a long way before that Spire finishes. Before 1-1 for these Zerglings finish, it's going to be kind of interesting, because honestly, Marauders aren't too good against Zerglings. Zerglings actually kind of ripped into shreds, because really Punisher Grenades only deal damage versus Ultralisks. However, with these Hellions here, he should be able to do something to these Zerglings. Even though they are speed Zerglings, he does know this attack is on the way. Of course, the Zergling did see it. It looks like these Hellions are about to dodge in. However, they are going to need to bail out. The Baneling Cocoons are almost done morphing. However, these Banelings are not going to have centrifugal hooks, and the creep spread is not where it should be. This creep spread is actually really, really bad. And this pressure, this splitting is quite nice. The Banelings go off on Marauders, but Marauders are not really where you want your Banelings. You want your Banelings on Hellions, you want your Banelings on Marines. Those are really the only two units in the Terran force that Banelings are worth going after. And it looks like this pressure is actually going to be doing quite a bit of damage. However, yeah, it's going to push through and might kill this hatchery. Maybe the Spinecrawler is in kind of a crappy spot to do any sort of defending. We do see that, like most Zerg players in this kind of like skill bracket, he's missing injects now. You know, he's been missing injects a little bit because, you know, this queen's up to 50 energy, this queen's up to 27, so yeah, that's a couple of missed injects, or at least the late injects. But, you know, you can't have that in a situation like this where the Terran is putting pressure onto you so hard. Honestly, you need those injects. Those injects are very, very important. We do see a big portion of the Terran force going off. The Baneling does explode, and this Marine does stay alive. The drone was quite menacing. The drone almost became a Predator drone. It almost got its little like rocket in its laser beam and its heat-seeking vision, but no, not quite. The Marine does survive, but with one life. These two Marines, these three Marines are kind of just running down to their death. He really should fix this rally point. And this is kind of an awkward part of like rallying out Terran units, because usually most Terran are going to tell you want all of your units to come out wave after wave after wave. You don't want them kind of like trailing across the map like that, because honestly, if 6 Zerglings get behind your lines, then they can just start catching Marines, and they can just start catching Hellions, and they can just start catching Marauders, and it's actually quite easy to do that all. Now we do have Fox getting those Mutalisks out. However, honestly, I think a much better solution to this pressure would have been Infestors. However, we already have Mutalisks on the way before this pressure even started coming. It looks like the command center for marcmad is ready to go. However, that Zergling being quite annoying, just delaying that command center for actually quite a while. It was a very good life for that Zergling. He did end up dying because, you know, he's a Zergling. He's not supposed to live. That's not really the point of them. And can I just say something about this map? Why? Why? Doesn't Blizzard remember Sunken Temple? I understand there's a ramp here, but still, why? I mean, Terran players haven't really abused this against me personally, but still, why? if you ever go siege tank as Terran and just drop onto there, like that position is so freaking strong. Because if you do it right, the Zerg player is not going to see you coming until you have a bunker here. Like, you can drop a bunker without him even seeing it unless his overlord is positioned well. So if you drop here, you build the bunker, and then you move your siege tank over and siege the natural, they're dead. Or the siege of the third, that base is dead and gone. There's no way to defend it. It looks like a little bit of muta harass is going off. Actually, quite a lot of muta harass. I'm almost sad that I missed that. Actually, no, he only killed like 8 workers. That's not that great, to be honest, for mutas. He is going to be swinging around here and killing quite a few more. 10, 11, 12, 13, I think that was 13? 14, damn it. But the Marines are going to swing in, and they do have stims, so these Mulisks really don't want to engage into that. However, they're going to be going right back to the natural, because that's kind of what Zerg does. I'm not sure if Terran knows this. However, Zerg is very good at flying, especially Mutalisks. They're good at flying above the heads of your units, and there's just so much damage by these Mutalisks now. It's absurd. Wow. These Mutas are just ripping this Terran player apart. He has 30 units dead. Ugh. The 4th base is up for Fox, however, it's not saturated at all, and this base is really, really oversaturated, and this base is kind of undersaturated, oh no, his main is oversaturated too. Alright, he should probably just transfer some units up here. He would be good and set to go. He should also get his queen up and running out of that 4th base. However, honestly, he's doing a lot of damage here. He's killed 32 SCVs. I'm not sure what marcmad plans on doing, because honestly, if you look at the income tab, it's 81 to 46. 80 to 46. Now he had to build a building. That's like the optimal amount of drones you want as a Zerg player, and totally the not optimal amount of SCVs you want as a Terran player in this situation. He's but roasty toasty drones. Oh yes. Yeah, there we go. Come on, one more. Oh, he could have just gotten the shot off. Come on. Damn it, Mr. Hellion. Sometimes. However, marcmad is swinging into this natural, or this 3rd base now, and he has quite an intimidating force. These banelings are really going to need to land. Alright, that was a nice hit. That was not the best baneling hit, however, definitely nice. And the rest of these Marines are kind of getting cleaned up. However, this is still quite a formidable force. The only issue for marcmad here is that he just doesn't have medevacs. And medevacs are extremely important in these types of engagements. People think that Marines kill mutas by themselves, but not really. It's far more about medevacs than people think, because medevacs neutralize the 2nd and 3rd bounce for Mutalisks. The damage shield for medevacs absolutely destroys that, plus the fact that medevacs become targets for it, and medevacs have a lot of health. The damage splash for mutas is just absolutely decimated when medevacs are there. It's really none, which gives Marines an extreme longevity boost when they're fighting against those Mutalisks in the sky. It's almost insane how good medevacs are when it comes to fighting Mutalisks. Because if you think about it, the Glaive Worm does what? 10, 7, 3 damage, I do believe. And that's with +1 upgrades. But just like watch these Marines die. They don't have anything to do. Oh, and there's the GG. I kind of wish that this fight would have kept on going, because honestly, 2 more Mutalisks were going to die, killing the rest of this Marine ball, which honestly isn't exactly where you want to be as a Zerg player. However, when you have 4 bases, doesn't freaking matter. If you had drones in these extractors, his gas income would be insane. He would be on 8 extractors. It would just be absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. You can check out any other videos I've created, and also subscribe to me over at youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. You can send in any games you want commentated into boisteroussc2@gmail.com, and you can of course follow me on Twitch over at twitch.tv/boisteroussc2, where I do streams of the SCL, me playing StarCraft 2, random fun nights that me and Kiddoink have occasionally, where we'll like pull in people from our viewerships that want to maybe do a show match with us commentating it live. that might want to play mana battles with us on the ladder, because of course that's the real way to do mana battles, that might want to play against us, challenge us, throw down that gauntlet, with the other one commentating, of course, and we'll get off Skype for that, because that would be kind of cheap if they were just telling us everything that you were doing. No stream cheating, people, just no stream cheating. So anyway, guys, this is Boisterous, signing out.